Lunch Buddies, it's Kat. Today I am continuing to talk about the Cannon Naruto Arcs, today focusing on the last part of the Chunin exams as well as the battle that takes place. This episode's going to be just a bit longer because once you get started on this ride, you do not stop until it starts raining. So let's get started. Skipping right to business, Naruto wakes up in the hospital after being passed out from exhaustion. I Can't Be Bothered is also there. The two of them begin to explore the hospital, which I'm pretty sure is a break in some sort of health and safety code, but we're actually pretty glad they did because they catch Sweet Baby about to kill the greatest ninja ever. Sweet Baby begins his traditional villain monologue saying his goal is to kill everyone because nobody ever loved him and he's always been alone, and someone please just get this kid some chocolate milk and nuggies. Guy Sensei walks in just in time and Sweet Baby walks away muttering about some tail demon or something like that. I'm sure it's not important. It's officially time for the Chunin exam finals. Yeah, remember that thing where all these kids are just here to get their job promotions? Yeah. Naruto is paired up to go against Ghost Eyes, and their entire fight basically boils down to a therapy session where they talk about how it's not okay to hit girls just because they're family, and how Ghost Eyes has mega daddy issues, while this huge audience of adults just looks on. And nobody thinks to call the match? Like, hey kids, you're great at being ninjas, but beating up bad guys is not the same thing as therapy. But I guess if we were having those conversations, most of my favorite characters wouldn't exist. Anyways, Naruto wins by the power of respect women juice and gives Ghost Eyes the nothing is pre-written, you can change your fate speech, even though that is pre-written into fate. One more thing before we move on. During Naruto's fight, he reveals that he can use the chakra of the nine-tailed fox, and all the adults in the audience are like, what? A child using a preconceived impairment to do good in this world and be successful? What? Thank goodness for Iruka and Jiraiya because nobody else in this goddamn village is competent in preparing the host to the nine-tailed fox demon for being anything other than a much bigger problem later. Anyways, the next fight is Kiss Wannabe, and I swear it's not lice, but Kiss Wannabe forfeits the match before it can even begin. My personal opinion is that Kiss Wannabe saw what happened to Arm Cannon Dude, and if I swear it's not lice has any carpenter ants or termites, his puppet show would end before it even got started. Up next is Big Fan and I Can't Be Bothered, and they're both super smart and tactical, but I Can't Be Bothered is just this much better than her, but in the end he ends up forfeiting the match as well because he runs out of chakra. Since my last video, I've really tried to figure out if Kishimoto just drinks that much respect juice that he doesn't want any of his male characters hitting women, or if this is a choice that he's making where all of the boys are just a little bit better than the girls, and they can beat them without even hitting them. I don't know, you tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Now for the fight that everybody cares about, Sasuke versus Sweet Baby. After a month of training with Kakashi, Sasuke's new speed quickly overtakes Sweet Baby, who retreats into his cocoon to turn into a beautiful butterfly. But Sasuke prepared for this, and using a brand new ability he learned from Kakashi called Chidori, he is able to not only pierce through Sweet Baby's cocoon, but also hit him, making him bleed. This is a brand new thing for Sweet Baby, so he panics and stops his transformation. Nobody wants to see your Pokemon cards, then uses a technique to put this audience filled with, village members, but also elite ninja to sleep, showing that there is literally no goddamn security in this village. What the fuck are you paid for? Orochimaru appears and takes the Hokage prisoner, while the Sound Ninja 5, 4, 6, either way, they make a magic box that no one can enter, and instead of trying to find alternate routes to save their Hokage, these three idiots just sit there and watch. I can name at least 2 alternate ways to get into this box of butt kicking, and yet they just sit there. Useless! Also, throughout the entire village, battles are breaking out as Orochimaru's men invade the Hidden Leaf village. In the meantime, Sweet Baby is carried out of the arena by his siblings to make their escape, but Sasuke, Naruto, and I Can't Be Bothered follow after them. Big Fan tries to hold off Sasuke, but I'll give you one guess as to what happens. And no, by the end of it, Sasuke doesn't even have to touch Big Fan. Respect? No respect? I cannot tell. I swear it's not lice, and Kiss Wannabe also have their fight, but it's really not important. Back to the adults, Orochimaru reanimates the first and second Hokages to be his puppets to fight against his old master. During this fight, we find out that Orochimaru's lifelong goal is to learn every single ninjutsu ever. He's just a big nerd, and the way that he does this is by taking his soul and putting it into other people's bodies every few years. And I'll give you a guess who his new prime vessel is. You're right, it's our favorite Edge Boy. Up against his old masters, the third Hokage realizes he might be outmatched and decides to use the Reaper Death Seal. This technique is a double-edged sword as the Reaper begins to feast on the first, second, and third Hokage's soul before turning to Orochimaru as well. Okay, while the big boys take a snack break, Sasuke finally catches up to Sweet Baby, but all of his attack attempts fail, even when he tries to unleash his curse mark. Naruto has to come in at the last minute and save him. Before we move on to this final epic battle, we need just a little bit more backstory. Like Naruto, Sweet Baby is the host to a demon, which made him an outcast for all of his life. The only person who actually treated him with kindness was his uncle, who, on his father's orders, tries to assassinate Sweet Baby. His uncle then admits that he never loved him. In fact, he's always hated him, and this is what causes Gaara to only love himself and find his value in killing others. Warning, do not watch these episodes on a bad day. Again, normally I don't get too emotional when I watch shows, but I was sobbing. He just wants to be loved. Back to the present, Naruto engages Sweet Baby, who finally completes his transformation into the one-tailed Shukaku. Naruto summons his huge toad demon, and together they turn into a replica of the nine-tailed fox. Naruto is able to remove Sweet Baby from his form, and the two of them knock each other out. Back to the big boys. In his final moments, without enough of his soul left to trap Orochimaru, the third Hokage disables his previous student's arm, abolishing any chance that Orochimaru will ever be able to use his precious jutsu again. Then, before his soul is devoured by the Reaper, the third Hokage looks on at his student and sees the kid that he trained all those years ago. I don't have emotions, it's fine. I don't have emotions, just don't, it's fine. Orochimaru, arms all noodle-like, calls off the invasion and everybody gets to go home. In the forest, we get an incredibly emotional scene where Naruto explains that he really does understand Sweet Baby. The only difference is that Naruto gets his strength from the people he cares about.
Why would you do this for anyone but yourself?
Because they saved me from myself.
God damn it, I do have emotion! Big Fan and Kiss Wannabe pick up their Sweet Baby brother and take him home, and on the way, he whispers an apology to both of them. With the battle over, everyone gathers together to remember the third Hokage, his influence on their lives, and fuck it, everyone is sad, it's raining, Kakashi's been there since dawn, everyone's motivated to be the best person they can be, that's the end of